Thank you. And last, your report states that governance arrangements to help Scotland adapt to the impact of climate change are less developed than those for reducing emissions. Do you know why this situation has occurred?
We can certainly kind of build on a little bit further in terms of the report, and Sally can equally say more. It may be for government to give their perspective on why there's a difference between a very clear and focus on climate emissions reductions relative to adaptations. And I think that's the evidence that we've seen, that a real, even in terms of Rebecca may wish to say a bit more about how that's manifested itself in some of the risk management arrangements. Clear evidence that carbon emissions has been high profile risk for government in its corporate risk arrangements, going back to the end of the previous decade. Adaptations less so. And I think even some of the news over the past few days that global temperatures are going to increase beyond the ambition of 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2027, that's inevitably going to bring changes to climate that we'll have to adapt our lives to. We're already seeing that in terms of some of flooding arrangements, more severe, unpredictable storms that are going to require changes in how we live our life, but also public investment beyond what we're already committing to in terms of flood defences and so forth. And that requires comprehensive and governance and risk management arrangements that bring parity to work on adaptations and climate emission reductions. Both have to go hand in hand, but we haven't seen that yet, Deputy Convener. Again, I'll pass to Rebecca and indeed Sally if they wish to say anything further.
Thanks, Auditor General. So we found that adaptation wasn't given as much priority within the risk management arrangements in the Scottish Government. So the failure to adapt to the impacts of climate change is given a lower risk score than the failure to meet net zero targets. And that's in large part because some of these impacts won't be felt until the much longer term, but the reality is that action to address them needs to be happening now.